Okay, we've been talking about nouns, we've been studying nouns, and we've been studying how to pluralize nouns. But all the nouns we've talked about so far have been count nouns, which means that you can count them. You can see them, you can touch them. Now we're going to talk about non-count nouns. And non-count nouns are ones that you cannot pluralize or use with number words. All right? So we're going to talk about these, and I'm going to read through this a little bit with you, and I'm going to go over some of the lists with you. It says the types of non-count nouns that you are most likely to encounter fall into the semantic categories listed below. Semantic means the meaning categories, and so they'll be in one of these categories. Abstractions, which means that it's something that you can't touch really, like beauty, charity, faith, hope, knowledge. It usually refers to something, like not physical. All right. Food, butter, cheese, chicken, pepper, rice, salt, and there's different ways we use chicken, but I'll talk about that in a second. Whether it's the animal or whether it's the food, okay? You don't go to the store, and when you buy chicken at the store, you buy, a variety of chicken unless you actually buy the chicken itself, okay? Liquids and gases, beer, coffee is a little weird, but when you separate it out as separate, like if you separate out beer and you just have beer, you're talking about tons of. It's an overall thing. But if you grab a glass of beer, then of course you can have one beer or two beers. Same with coffee, but usually it's a liquid, so we don't pluralize it unless you're talking about how many specific ones you had, and usually then there's a size, 12 ounce or 20 ounce. But usually a liquid, we just say beer or coffee or whatever. Same with glass. Glass, if we're talking about a kitchen glass, obviously that's a little bit different. But if you're talking about just glass that goes in the window, you don't say, the glasses. You don't use glasses. Glasses is a different word. That's what you wear. If you wear glasses, okay. So these are different things. Natural phenomenon like electricity or gravity or matter or space, fog, pollution, rain, snow, wind. You don't say the snows or the rains unless it's possessive. It says, with certain exceptions that are discussed below, these non-count nouns are ungrammatical if they are used in the plural. For example, please get some more butters. We need to stop and get gasolines. The cements are on the garage floor. The cements on the garage floor are cracking. The electricities have been turned off. Okay, we just don't say those. Those are all non-count nouns, which means that you cannot pluralize them. All right. There are some exceptions, and it talks about the exceptions right down here. It's the way you use them. So the price of gasoline is outrageous. That would be non-count. But if you wanted to use it as a count now, you could say the station sells 3 gasolines or 3 different types of gasolines. Okay, it's a little odd sounding still, but it's still proper. Cheese, I love cheese, non-count noun. All right, we don't say I love cheeses. But if you want to make it a count noun, you could the different kinds of cheese you could talk about anytime you make it a count. The store sells a variety of cheeses. That says there's different types of it, okay? So if these are things that if you're saying there's different types of something, then you can use it as a count noun, but usually they're non-count nouns. It says some words can serve as either non-count noun or a count noun with a slightly different meaning. For example, the non-count noun chicken refers to chicken as food. As such, we cannot use it with the number words or in the plural. However, if we use the word chicken to refer to the living animal, then it is a count noun. For example, chicken. Chicken is a heart-healthy meat. Okay, that's non-count. If we wanted to use it as a count, it says there were a dozen chickens in the yard. Okay, that's the food. Or that's the animal, not the food. So that's the difference between those. So this is a very simple exercise. It says all of the underlying nouns in the following sentences are in the plural. Some plurals are correctly used with count nouns. However, many plurals are incorrectly used with non-count nouns. Draw a line through each incorrectly used non-count noun and write the corrected form above it. If the plural is used correctly with a count noun, write OK above the noun. please be careful of the woods on the road discs. Okay, so I'm going to do the first one with you because that one's hard to see. It says the roads were closed because of the dense fogs. So I'm going to write okay above this one because roads is used correctly, but obviously fogs is a non-count, so I'm going to put an X through it, and I'm going to write fog up here, okay? And that's how I'm going to do it. If you can't quite fit it in, obviously you can we were out of milks. You can put a line through it and then write milk over here if you want. Okay, so as long as I can see what you're doing. But that's very simple. You're distinguishing between count and non-count nouns and the proper pluralizing them properly. So you can pluralize or make it more than one. Pluralize count nouns. You cannot pluralize non-count nouns. Okay, so you cannot pluralize non-count nouns. So that's what you're doing here. Very simple. If you have questions, as always, come before school and then we'll help you out. Or watch the video again, and I will see you next video. Good luck.